meeting at the White Tiger. At the White Tiger's temporary headquarters, Mema convened an emergency meeting with his trusted juniors. The dim light illuminated tense faces, clearly showing determination and anxiety. Mema stood in front of the conference table, his eyes fiery, his voice full of determination. "We need to restore the White Tiger's honor. We need to free Tiga. Tiga will avenge Tigi, but I keep wondering if he will let go of the old misunderstandings," Mema said, his voice thoughtful. A junior with a strong face stepped forward and answered, "Tiga is not a petty person. He will definitely erase old hatreds. Most importantly, he wants to avenge Tigi." Mema nodded, his eyes sparkling with hope. "Okay, we will implement the plan immediately. This is a vital mission. No mistakes are allowed." Phase 1. Secret infiltration. One of the biggest challenges was how to contact Tiga in prison. A junior who was an ex-convict proposed using his person to reach Tiga. Messages sent from Tiga to Mema from prison had been facilitated by him. This person would carry a secret letter for Tiga. During a meal, a trusted junior approached Tiga and secretly passed him a letter. The message in the letter was clear: "Get ready. Tonight we will free you." After careful preparation, the White Tiger planned each stage of the rescue mission and began execution. Team of experts. Mema hired a team of technology and martial arts experts to train the White Tiger members in infiltration and combat. This team included talented hackers and people who had worked in special forces. Modern equipment. Members were equipped with state-of-the-art equipment such as stealth suits, noise-canceling headphones, laser daggers, and mini global positioning systems. Phase 2. Meticulous planning. Analysis of the prison diagram. The group of experts analyzed the prison diagram in detail and identified weaknesses in the security system. A detailed plan was drawn up, including entrances, guard changing times, and surveillance cameras. Create a distraction. To distract the guards, the group decided to create a fake explosion in another part of the city. This would attract the majority of the guards and create favorable conditions for the group to attack. Phase 3. Attack and rescue. Infiltrating at night. Dark night was the most appropriate time to infiltrate. The attacking group wore stealth suits that helped them move easily in the dark without being detected. They entered the prison through an old drainage passage, a passage few people knew about. Jamming system. To disable the alarm system, hackers created a jamming device. This device was installed near the prison, paralyzing the security system for a few minutes, enough time for the attack group to penetrate deep inside. Dealing with guards. The attacking group moved quickly and accurately. They used laser daggers to cut through door locks and electronic systems without making a sound. The guards were taken down peacefully by quick attacks with non-lethal weapons such as tranquilizer guns and smoke bombs. Free Tiga. Upon arriving at Tiga's detention area, the attack group faced a larger number of guards. They used smoke bombs to blur the guards' vision and quickly took them out one by one. Tiga, having received the message beforehand, was ready and waiting. He coordinated with the rescue group, using martial arts to take down the remaining guards. Using the ventilation system. To retreat safely and quickly, the rescue team decided to use the prison's ventilation system. They had prepared a laser cutting device to open the ventilation ducts and escape without being detected. The rescue group moved through the ventilation ducts, avoiding the guards' pursuit. Phase 4. Retreat and safety. Fast transportation. The external support team was ready with high-speed motorbikes. When the rescue group escaped from the prison, they quickly got on their motorbikes and left the area before security forces could react. Retreat route. The rescue team had drawn up a retreat route, including temporary stops and backup escape routes. This ensured that they could avoid checkpoints and pursuit by security forces. Arrival at the safe base. After leaving the prison, the rescue team took Tiga to a safe base that they had prepared. This was a secret location, fully equipped with modern amenities and security systems to ensure that Tiga and the rescue team could rest and plan their next move without being detected. Freeing Tiga was not only a mission to save a comrade, but also an important strategic step for the White Tiger. With Tiga's return, the White Tiger gang not only restored confidence, but also strengthened its forces, ready to face all challenges. The upcoming war would be a decisive match, where courage, solidarity, and tactical ingenuity would determine the final outcome. A new plan of action. With Tiga back among them, Mema and the White Tiger gang gathered to discuss their next steps. The room was filled with a mix of relief and anticipation. Tiga, although physically exhausted, was mentally sharper than ever. "We have to strike back and show them that the White Tiger is not defeated," Mema declared. "Tiga, what are your thoughts?" Tiga stood up, his eyes reflecting the fire within. "We need to hit them where it hurts. We have to dismantle their operations, piece by piece. This will demoralize them and give us the upper hand." A bold plan. Tiga continued to present his plan with a determined expression. "My plan is this. We'll hunt them down. We'll sneak into their lair and attack suddenly." Mema was startled by Tiga's idea and protested. "How can we attack them when we don't know where they are and we don't know who they are? Besides, we don't have enough resources." Tiga smiled mysteriously, explaining, "We will apply the tactics of the 10 great assassins, attacking from the shadows. We will use their own plan and pay them back double. Our attack will be silent and undetected. The 10 great assassins are not on guard because they believe that their lair is an absolute secret and no one has ever dared to attack them. But we will do that." He stopped and looked around the room. Tiga's eyes made everyone seem hesitant and nervous before this bold plan. Tiga continued, "Boss, please give me 20 members who are bravest, have the best martial arts, and are willing to sacrifice to carry out the mission of restoring White Tiger's honor. I know very well that this mission is dangerous, and I know clearly who the 10 great assassins are." Mema looked at Tiga with worried eyes and asked again, "Do we have to sacrifice?" Tiga nodded and firmly replied, "Yes, our upcoming attack will not allow us to retreat. I and 20 of the White Tiger's warriors will sacrifice for the honor of the White Tiger and for the death of TG." A heavy silence enveloped the room, and no one said a word in response to Tiga's determined and dangerous request. Rallying the troops, Tiga looked around, clearly seeing the worry and hesitation in each person's eyes. He took a deep breath and decided to convince them with all his determination and enthusiasm. "Brothers," Tiga began, his voice deep but fierce, "I understand that you are worried, even scared. But remember that we are warriors of the White Tiger. We have faced many dangers and overcome numerous challenges. White Tiger's honor is not something that anyone can take away. It's time for us to stand up and fight for our cherished values." He moved closer, his eyes blazing. "Do you remember TG? He sacrificed his life to protect us and the ideals of the White Tiger. He did not hesitate to face any enemy. We cannot let his death be in vain. We must fight for him, for his honor, and for ourselves." Tiga stopped, letting his words sink deep into everyone's minds. "We not only fight for honor, but also for the future of the White Tiger. If we do not do this, we will forever live in fear, being chased and humiliated. But if we dare to stand up, we will regain our freedom, respect, and pride." He walked up to each person, placing his hand on their shoulders. "I know you are brave. I know you are the best warriors. We will fight together, face every challenge together. No matter if we have to sacrifice, we will do it for a cause greater than ourselves." Tiga raised his head, his voice full of majesty and determination. "Look into each other's eyes. Look into my eyes. We are brothers, family. We will not let anyone fight alone. Be brave, be strong, for the honor of the White Tiger, for our future." Tiga's words spread like a fire, warming and stimulating everyone's courage. Their eyes gradually became steadfast, their determination surging. They knew that even if they had to sacrifice, they would not back down. Because they were the warriors of the White Tiger, and they would fight to the end. Preparing for the hunt. Immediately after, everyone stood up and chanted the slogan, "For TG and for the honor of the White Tiger, we are ready to sacrifice." Tiga smiled with satisfaction and continued implementing his plan. He announced, "Let everyone know that whoever discovers the whereabouts of the 10 great assassins will receive a very high reward. We need everyone's help to complete this mission." The announcement quickly spread throughout the region through messengers and notices posted on every corner. The message was simple but powerful. Find the 10 great assassins, receive great rewards. People talked loudly, and many began searching for information in the hope of receiving the promised reward. mobilizing resources. While the message spread, Tiga began to gather and train his army. He selected 20 of the strongest and bravest warriors of the White Tiger, who had proven their loyalty and talent through many battles. Tiga led the army to a secret training area, where they could train without being detected. He equipped each man with crossbows and armor, the best weapons and equipment the White Tiger could provide. Tiga knew that skill and coordination were decisive for the success of this mission. Training activities. 1. Crossbow shooting skills. Tiga began by teaching the warriors how to use crossbows accurately and effectively. They practiced shooting from different distances and in various situations. Each person had to achieve absolute precision because each arrow could determine their survival. 2. Hiding tactics and surprise attacks. Tiga led the warriors through exercises in hiding, moving silently and attacking from the shadows. They learned how to use their surroundings to hide their presence, how to move without making a sound, and how to attack suddenly to cause panic in the enemy ranks. 3. Group coordination. Tiga posed hypothetical situations, forcing the warriors to work together effectively. They learned how to communicate using nonverbal signals, support each other in battle, and coordinate to create synchronized attacks. 4. Physical strength and endurance. Every day, the warriors underwent harsh physical exercises. They ran through difficult terrain, climbed mountains, overcame obstacles, and practiced close combat. The goal was to ensure that they could face any situation without burning out. 5. Facing fear and pressure. Tiga knew that this mission required not only physical strength, but also mental fortitude. He organized psychological training sessions, helping warriors face fear, control emotions, and maintain composure under pressure, building a strong team. After each training session, Tiga often took time to talk, mobilize, and encourage the warriors' spirits. He reminded them of their noble goal, of White Tiger's honor, and of Tiji's sacrifice. Tiga's words not only aroused determination, but also created a strong bond between the warriors. The announcement spreads. As the training progressed, word of the reward for information on the 10 great assassins spread far and wide. Villagers, merchants, and travelers all kept an ear to the ground for any hint or clue. This widespread search significantly increased the chances of locating the assassin's hideout. Information flow. It wasn't long before snippets of information began to flow back. Some were vague rumors, while others were detailed observations from those who had seen suspicious activity. Tiga and his warriors sifted through the information, verifying and cross-referencing details to form a clearer picture of the assassin's possible locations. The hero of the people. One day, Tiga received information that some of the 10 great assassins had stopped by a restaurant and demanded protection money. Tiga and his group immediately set out. When he arrived, Tiga saw a group of people sitting, eating, and waiting for the restaurant owner to pay protection money. Tiga walked up to them and asked, "Are you one of the 10 great assassins?" The men looked at Tiga and challenged, "What if that's true?" Fast as lightning, Tiga used Tiger Claw to strangle one of the men. Another man ran up to intervene, but Tiga performed a powerful kick to his chest. The man was thrown more than 3 meters away, blood spilling from his mouth. He stammered a few words and then fell dead. Meanwhile, Tiga's hand was still strangling the first man. He questioned, "What do you know about the 10 great assassins?" The man was speechless, just shaking his head because Tiga's hand was still strangling him. Tiga realized that these men were just imposters. With a swift move, Tiga used Tiger Claw to crush his neck. Blood flowed out like a stream. Everyone in the restaurant panicked and ran out the door. The remaining 2 men had pale faces and begged Tiga to spare their lives. Tiga said, "Is the reputation of the 10 great assassins that great? Go away. Inform the fakers that I, Tiga, will destroy all fake gangs." The campaign against imposters. Tiga received fake news many times, and each time, he and his group did not hesitate to set out. When he arrived, he always found imposters, and not a single one of them had a chance to escape his wrath. Tiga exterminated all the imposters, each time blood flowed and fear spread everywhere. Tiga's unintentional but drastic actions gradually formed deep fear in the hearts of the imposters. No one dared to impersonate the 10 great assassins, to threaten and blackmail anymore. The counterfeiting of the 10 great assassins decreased significantly, and peace returned to the innocent people. The People's Gratitude restaurant owners, bar owners, and small business owners were extremely grateful to Tiga. They saw Tiga as a hero who came to their rescue just in time. A restaurant owner told Tiga, "Tiga, thanks to you, we can continue our business safely. In the past, fake people always threatened us and took away a lot of money from us. But since you came, we are not afraid anymore. We are very grateful to you." A bar owner shared, "Tiga, I can't thank you enough. The imposters once threatened our lives, but thanks to you, they were eliminated. My bar is now busier and safer than ever. You are truly our savior." A small business owner confided, "Tiga, not only our property, but you also protect our lives. The imposters have been destroyed, and we no longer have to live in fear. You have brought us new faith and hope. We are extremely grateful to you." Thanks to Tiga's determined and courageous actions, the situation of impersonating the 10 greatest assassins decreased significantly. People lived in peace and safety, no longer worried about evil people blackmailing and threatening. Tiga not only protected the White Tiger's honor, but also became a symbol of justice and protection for the weak. His fame spread, and people's gratitude for him deepened, unveiling the enemy. One day, unexpected information suddenly came to Tiga. Out of gratitude to Tiga, a bar owner sent a message saying that a man, around 35 years old, had come to his bar to drink. The man appeared drunk and revealed a sword with an eagle-shaped hilt and the number 10 above the eagle. This eagle symbolized the nickname of the leader of the 10 great assassins, and the number 10 represented the 10. Tiga was extremely happy with this information. Finally, clues about the 10 great assassins had appeared. He knew this was a rare opportunity to find their lair. Tiga hurriedly set out with 20 White Tiger warriors. They prepared all the necessary tools, ready to attack as soon as they discovered the lair of the 10 great assassins. The encounter at the bar. Upon arriving at the bar, Tiga looked around and met the eyes of the bar owner. The owner nodded slightly and turned his eyes toward a man sitting in the corner of the bar. The light was dim, but still enough for Tiga to see his face clearly. Immediately, Tiga felt this man's temperament and demeanor, completely different from the imposters he had faced. This was definitely a master, one of the enemies who had destroyed White Tiger and killed his younger brother. Tiga's heart pounded, a feeling of deep hatred rising in his heart. Seeing the enemy before his eyes, painful memories of his brother's death rushed back, each haunting image replaying in his head. The pain of loss and indignation overwhelmed Tiga, causing his eyes to become cold and full of murderous intent. He stopped himself and said to himself, "If I kill him now, my mission will not be completed. We must find their lair, destroy them, and kill them one by one." Suppressing the urge, Tiga took a deep breath, suppressing the anger burning inside. He knew that acting impulsively now could ruin the whole plan. Tiga chose a corner in the bar and quietly followed the suspect with his eyes, not leaving the man for even a second. After a while, the suspicious person called for the bill and walked out of the bar. Tiga signaled his 20 warriors to follow him. The man rode his motorbike and headed towards a forest. Tiga and the 20 warriors quietly followed, keeping a safe distance but not losing sight. The chase. The darkness and dense vegetation of the forest made tracking difficult, but Tiga and his warriors' determination did not wane. Tiga knew that they had to find the lair of the 10 great assassins and exterminate them to avenge his brother and protect White Tiger's honor. Gradually, the suspect's motorbike slowed down and stopped in front of a dense area. He looked around carefully before going deeper into the forest. Tiga signaled his group to stop, then moved forward silently and carefully with them. Into the heart of darkness. The forest became silent, with only the gentle footsteps and steady breathing of the warriors remaining. They gradually followed the suspect's trail, step by step, tension and determination clearly visible in each person's eyes. Tiga knew that the moment of direct confrontation with the 10 great assassins was approaching, and he could not fail. His survival and the White Tiger's honor depended on this war. The decisive battle. The man Tiga had been following entered a solidly built house and disappeared inside. Tiga approached and discovered a very large house with a strong iron door that couldn't be broken into from the outside. Tiga was a bit disappointed. He knew that attacking this house directly would not be easy. Setting the explosives, Tiga ordered his group to set explosives to destroy the door. However, he realized that the element of surprise would be lost, because the explosion would alert all members of the 10 Great Assassins. He stood silently for a moment, considering the situation before him. It was now or never. Having no other choice, Tiga decided to set off the explosives. If he couldn't destroy all the members of the 10 Great Assassins, he would at least destroy their headquarters, just as they had done with the White Tiger's headquarters. Thinking of this, Tiga felt a surge of excitement and firm determination. He ordered his team to prepare the explosives, each gesture precise and careful. The White Tiger warriors worked efficiently, understanding the importance of this mission. The explosion. When everything was ready, Tiga stepped back, making sure everyone was in a safe position. He looked at the solid house in front of him, the place that hid those who had caused so much suffering and loss. In that moment, all emotions, pain, and hatred converged, becoming the power that pushed Tiga forward. "We will not back down," Tiga told his warriors, his voice firm and determined. "No matter what happens, we will destroy this lair and avenge the White Tiger." One of the warriors signaled that everything was ready. Tiga took a deep breath and then ordered the explosives to be activated. The explosion rang out, shaking the entire forest. The solid iron door was destroyed into pieces. Entering the lair, the explosion caused a fire, and flames flared up fiercely, illuminating the entire sky. Tiga did not falter and ordered 15 warriors armed with crossbows to follow him inside, while the remaining 5 stayed outside to guard. They were to shoot and kill any escaping member of the 10 Great Assassins without mercy. Inside the house? Meanwhile, Silverback was discussing the next attack plan with members of the 10 Great Assassins when Cobra entered, looking drunk. Silverback immediately stood up and yelled, "Are you drunk again? Eagle has forbidden us from drinking alcohol while on duty." Cobra looked at Silverback with a defiant look. "We're not on a mission at the moment. I'm free and drinking some wine. It's okay." Silverback was furious. Did you leave any traces?" Cobra replied absent-mindedly, "Of course not." It turned out that the person Tiga had been following was Cobra. At that moment, the tension in the room increased when an explosion echoed from outside, startling everyone. Silverback and the rest of the members quickly realized something was wrong and stood up, preparing for any situation. The confrontation, Tiga and his warriors moved deeper into the house, step by step, toward the center. They moved carefully, ready to face any danger. Smoke and fire spread, creating a chaotic and dangerous scene. However, in Tiga's heart, there was only one goal: destroy the 10 Great Assassins and avenge the White Tiger. Outside, the remaining 5 warriors guarded carefully, never taking their eyes off the only exit of the house. They knew that their mission was to prevent any of the 10 Great Assassins from escaping. In the heart of the burning house, the confrontation between Tiga and the 10 Great Assassins was about to begin. Tiga knew that this would be a decisive battle, one that he and the White Tiger warriors could not lose. With determination and courage, they advanced, ready to face any challenge to protect the honor of the White Tiger and avenge the losses they had suffered. The battle within the flames. Smoke and fire rose behind Tiga, but he did not falter, continuing his advance. He knew that the challenge ahead, just 10 meters away from the room, was enormous. The thought that he might end his life here crossed his mind, but his determination to avenge his young brother and restore the White Tiger's honor propelled him forward. As Tiga and the White Tiger warriors approached the room, they unleashed a rain of arrows. Lionheart and Panthera charged out, followed by Jackal throwing iron cards, Falcon shooting arrows, and Silverback throwing knives. Tiga and the White Tiger warriors fought fiercely, trying to protect themselves from the deadly onslaught. The initial clash. 3 of Tiga's warriors fell almost immediately, struck down by the weapons of the 10 Great Assassins. Tiga found himself dodging incoming objects while facing 2 formidable opponents, Lionheart and Panthera. Lionheart, with his short but agile figure, rushed forward with terrifying speed, his 2 short sabers swinging sharply and dangerously. Panthera, tall tall and heavily muscled, moved powerfully, his long sword glinting in the firelight. Tiga knew this would be a battle to the death. Facing the masters, with surprising composure, Tiga dodged Lionheart's slashes and Panthera's powerful attacks. He moved fluidly, each movement precise and strong. Tiga used Tiger Claw, his unique martial arts skill, with incredible skill and power. Lionheart threw a quick slash at Tiga, but Tiga quickly dodged to the side and counterattacked with a powerful punch aimed at Lionheart's side. Though the punch missed, it forced Lionheart to step back and stagger. Panthera charged from behind, but Tiga turned around and used Tiger Claw to block him. Overwhelming strength, Tiga continued his assault. His strength and skills seemed to overwhelm Lionheart and Panthera. Lionheart attempted to counterattack with a powerful slash, but Tiga quickly dodged and threw a punch at Lionheart, its internal power so strong that it pushed Lionheart away. Panthera, seeing his comrade being thrown back, became even more frenzied. He rushed at Tiga with all his agility and brutality, but Tiga remained composed. He blocked each of Panthera's attacks and counterattacked forcefully. Finally, Tiga used a decisive Tiger Claw, catching Panthera's wrist and slamming him to the floor, making Panthera unable to get up. The battle ended with Tiga's overwhelming victory. He stood there, eyes still sharp and determined, pressing forward. Despite losing 3 warriors, Tiga knew they were one step closer to completely destroying the 10 great assassins. The fire of hatred and determination in his heart burned stronger than ever. Through fire and smoke and fire continued to rise from behind Tiga, intensifying as the flames licked at the walls of the building. Despite the heat and danger, he pressed on. The previous battle had barely ended when another threat emerged. Hawkeye and Tiger Claw, 2 formidable masters of the 10 great assassins, sprang from the shadows. Each wielded a long chain, the links glistening in the firelight like deadly steel serpents. Hawkeye, with eyes as sharp as his namesake, lashed out with his chain at Tiga. Tiger Claw, large and powerful, swung his chain with terrifying force. The clash, Tiga reacted immediately, skillfully dodging Hawkeye's chain, which grazed his face with a menacing whistling sound. He stepped back, launching a powerful kick into the air to deflect Tiger Claw's incoming chains. Hawkeye didn't give Tiga time to counterattack, continuing his assault with quick and precise strikes. Each blow was calculated, aiming for Tiga's weak points. However, Tiga's calmness and skill allowed him to evade and block each attack in turn. Tiger Claw used his immense strength to swing his chains decisively, shaking the air with each movement. Tiga, unfazed, moved fluidly, using his Tiger Claw technique to catch Tiger Claw's chain. He pulled hard, causing Tiger Claw to lose his balance. Seeing this, Hawkeye attacked from the right. Tiga quickly reacted, blocking with his left hand and delivering a punch to Hawkeye's face. The force of the blow made Hawkeye stagger, but he quickly regained his balance and continued his onslaught. Tactical maneuvers. Realizing he needed to separate his 2 opponents, Tiga feigned a retreat, drawing Hawkeye and Tiger Claw into a tighter space. As they closed in, Tiga suddenly executed a spinning kick, knocking Hawkeye aside. Tiger Claw charged with another powerful blow, but Tiga was prepared. He caught Tiger Claw's chain, spun around, and slammed him to the ground. Hawkeye stood up, his eyes filled with hatred. He rushed at Tiga with all his strength, but Tiga was ready. Dodging to the side, Tiga used his Tiger Claw technique to block Hawkeye's chain and then delivered a strong punch to his chest. Hawkeye collapsed, gasping for air. Tiger Claw attempted to rise, but Tiga quickly approached and delivered a decisive kick to his head. Tiger Claw fell unconscious. Victory amidst ruins. The battle ended with Tiga standing victorious amid the smoke, fire, and ruins. His eyes shone with unwavering determination. He had defeated 2 more experts of the 10 great assassins, but he knew the war was far from over. He had to continue, for the honor of the White Tiger and for those who had fallen. Clash of Titans. Suddenly, a loud scream echoed from the room. "Get away! Leave him to me!" The scream reverberated throughout the area. A figure leaped from the room, and immediately, the White Tiger warriors released a rain of arrows toward the intruder. The figure deftly used his saber to deflect the arrows and threw knives at the warriors, felling 2 more. Tiga fixed his gaze on the tall figure before him, sensing who it might be. "Are you Silverback?" he asked, his voice filled with resolve. The figure remained silent for a moment, then ordered the other members of the 10 great assassins, destroy all the archers and find a way out. Leave him to me, I will deal with him. Turning back to Tiga, the figure's eyes gleamed with arrogance and challenge. Yes, I am Silverback. Who are you to dare attack our headquarters? Silverback had observed Tiga's every move from afar, silently impressed by his martial prowess and formidable internal strength. In less than 10 minutes, Tiga had defeated 4 masters of the 10 great assassins. Now, Silverback was ready to confront this powerful adversary. A deadly duel. Tiga focused on Silverback, not daring to let his guard down. He knew he could not support his fellow White Tiger warriors at this moment. He had heard tales of Silverback's strength and thought to himself, this may be the strongest opponent I have ever met, but no matter how difficult it is, I will overcome him. I am Tiga, he declared, staring intently at Silverback. I am here for the death of my younger brother, Tiji, and for the honor of the White Tiger. I burned down your lair. Silverback recognized Tiga as one of the 4 heroes, renowned throughout the gang world. The determination and hatred in Tiga's eyes told Silverback that this battle would not be easy. The 2 masters stood facing each other, tension thick in the air. The battle of life and death was about to begin, driven by mutual hatred and determination. The fierce battle. The battle between the 10 great assassins and the White Tiger warriors was intense and unrelenting. The air was thick with the sound of weapons clashing and the cries of warriors. The White Tiger warriors, though brave and determined, found themselves outmatched by the skill and ferocity of their opponents. The initial assault. The White Tiger warriors shot arrows while trying to retreat in an organized manner. However, the 10 great assassins pushed them towards the front and main doors, where their movement was restricted, making them vulnerable to attacks. Suddenly, a rain of arrows flew toward the 10 great assassins. They stopped abruptly, shielding and dodging the dangerous projectiles. The second group of White Tiger warriors, positioned outside, saw their comrades being overwhelmed and immediately fired a volley of arrows to support them. The 10 great assassins counterattack Wolfbane and Cobra were hit by arrows in their arms. Blood flowed from their wounds to the ground, but they stood firm. Jackal launched iron cards toward the second group of White Tiger warriors. The cards were as sharp as knives, flying swiftly and accurately, felling many warriors. Falcon, with his exceptional archery skills, shot arrows in quick succession, causing further damage. The White Tiger warriors fell one by one. Despite their bravery and determination, they could not withstand the superior power and skill of the 10 great assassins. A battle in the shadows. Amidst the chaos, the White Tiger warriors tried to regroup and launch a counteroffensive. They used the terrain to their advantage, hiding behind pillars and walls, and launching surprise attacks on the 10 great assassins. But their efforts were in vain. The assassins were too skilled, too ruthless. Panthera, with his brute strength, charged through the White Tiger ranks, his massive sword cleaving through armor and flesh alike. Lionheart, agile and precise, moved like a shadow, his dual blades striking with deadly accuracy. The air was filled with the sounds of steel meeting steel, the cries of the wounded, and the roar of the flames that consumed the building. The turning point. Seeing their comrades fall, the remaining White Tiger warriors fought with renewed fury. They knew that retreat was not an option. They had to stand their ground, for the honor of the White Tiger, and for the memory of those who had already fallen. One of the White Tiger warriors, a young man named Ryu, stepped forward. He was determined to make a stand. With a fierce battle cry, he charged at Cobra, his spear aimed at Cobra's heart. Cobra, despite his injuries, dodged the attack and countered with a swift strike from his dagger. Ryu blocked the strike with his spear, then spun around and delivered a powerful kick to Cobra's chest, sending him sprawling to the ground. Ryu turned to face his next opponent, but he was met with a hail of arrows from Falcon. He tried to dodge, but one arrow struck him in the leg, causing him to fall. As he struggled to get back on his feet, Jackal approached, iron cards at the ready. With a swift flick of his wrist, Jackal sent a card flying, striking Ryu in the chest and ending his fight. The final stand. Despite their losses, the White Tiger warriors continued to fight. Around them, the battle raged on. The White Tiger warriors fought valiantly, but they were being pushed back. The 10 great assassins, relentless and ruthless, pressed their advantage. The ground was slick with blood, the air thick with smoke, and the smell of death. The battle of unyielding spirits. The battle reached a fever pitch as the White Tiger warriors, despite being overwhelmed, rushed into the fray with the fervor of moths drawn to a flame. They knew the odds were against them, but the courage and honor of the White Tiger forbade them from retreating. Unyielding resolve. A warrior named Jin, with an arrow from Falcon embedded in his chest, managed to stand tall. Blood poured from his wound, yet his eyes remained steadfast. "For the great White Tiger," he bellowed, charging at Falcon with his sword held high. Falcon shot a second arrow into Jin's chest, but Jin, with his last ounce of strength, slashed Falcon's shoulder, inflicting a light wound for Falcon before collapsing. Kai, a young warrior, found himself surrounded by Jackal and Wolfbane. Iron cards from Jackal had left his body bloodied, but Kai pressed forward. "For the great White Tiger," he cried, rushing at Wolfbane with a knife. Wolfbane dodged in time and counterattacked, ending Kai's life. Lian, a strong female warrior, was crippled by Cobra's sword blows to her leg. Despite her injury, she continued to fire her crossbow at the enemy. When Cobra closed in and knocked her down, Lian shouted, "For the great White Tiger," and took her own life with a knife to avoid capture. Ryo, a tall and imposing warrior, was knocked to the ground by Panthera. With a large sword in hand, Panthera moved to finish Ryo off. Using the last of his strength, Ryo grabbed Panthera's leg and pulled him down, shouting, "For the great White Tiger," before succumbing to his injuries. The unbreakable spirit. One by one, the White Tiger warriors fell, yet none retreated. Their cries of, "For the great White Tiger," echoed as a testament to their courage and honor. Even in the face of certain death, they fought until their last breath to uphold the honor of the White Tiger, leaving a lasting impression of fear and respect in the hearts of their enemies. The 10 great assassins, though ruthless and skilled, were astounded by the valor and tenacity of the White Tiger warriors. Despite the overwhelming odds, the spirit of the White Tiger burned bright, inspiring future generations. The clash of titans, the fire burned ferociously behind Tiga, its heat searing his back, but his focus remained locked on Silverback. With unwavering determination, he spoke, "You killed my brother. You insulted the White Tiger. Today, you and I will die here together with this fire, as well as the fire of hatred burning in my heart." Silverback felt the heat of the fire and realized there was no way to retreat. The flames were closing in, nearly engulfing the house. He didn't waste words. Instead, he launched 2 swift kicks toward Tiga. Tiga dodged them expertly, responding with his Tiger Claw technique, executing 3 lightning-fast punches aimed at Silverback. Though Silverback managed to evade most of the attack, he noticed a scratch on his shirt and a few drops of blood. Impressed by Tiga's speed, he remarked, "They weren't wrong to call you one of the 4 heroes, but this is just the beginning." The battle begins. Tiga and Silverback rushed at each other, their movements echoing like thunderclaps in the midst of battle. Each of Tiga's strikes carried immense power and deep-seated hatred, while Silverback responded with sharp, precise counterattacks. Tiga's Tiger Claw punches vibrated the surrounding air, forcing Silverback to rely on his exceptional evasion skills. Still, Silverback couldn't avoid all of Tiga's storm-like blows, accumulating small injuries with each exchange. Refusing to let Tiga dominate, Silverback retaliated with powerful, lightning-fast kicks. Each of his strikes carried the force of a sledgehammer, capable of crushing bones. Tiga employed his defensive techniques, dodging and blocking Silverback's kicks, yet he felt the pressure of Silverback's immense strength. An inferno of combat. The fire rose higher, its light casting eerie shadows on the 2 warriors. Both were drenched in sweat, but neither dared to back down. Tiga, fueled by iron will and hatred, attacked relentlessly. Silverback, driven by survival instincts and pride, countered fiercely. Each attack and dodge made the battle grow more intense. Both fighters were injured, but their eyes burned with unyielding determination. They were locked in a deadly dance, attacking and defending in a flurry of movements that showed no signs of stopping. The fire intensified, consuming everything around them. Yet, Tiga and Silverback's sole focus remained on each other. Each punch and kick imbued with their indomitable wills. The battle reached a fever pitch, with neither willing to give an inch. The fire of hatred in their hearts mirrored the flames engulfing the house, growing ever brighter and fiercer. The turning tide. As the battle raged on, the fire became an inferno, and the structure of the house began to crumble. Tiga and Silverback, both bloodied and bruised, continued their relentless assault on each other. Tiga's tiger claw struck with pinpoint accuracy, while Silverback's kicks and counterattacks came with crushing force. At one point, Tiga saw an opening and launched a powerful tiger claw strike aimed at Silverback's chest. Silverback barely managed to deflect it, but the force sent him staggering back. Tiga pressed the advantage, following up with a series of rapid punches and kicks, each one intended to bring Silverback down. Silverback, regaining his footing, countered with a devastating spinning kick that caught Tiga on the side, sending him sprawling to the ground. But Tiga, fueled by rage and determination, quickly got back up, ignoring the pain. He launched himself at Silverback again, their bodies clashing in a furious exchange of blows. A battle of wills. The room they fought in was now an inferno, the walls crumbling and the heat unbearable. Yet, neither warrior gave any thought to escape. They were locked in a battle of wills, each determined to be the last one standing. Tiga's eyes blazed with hatred and resolve. "For Tiji," he muttered, launching a powerful punch that connected with Silverback's jaw, sending him reeling. But Silverback retaliated with a brutal knee strike to Tiga's midsection, causing him to gasp for breath. The two warriors, both on the brink of collapse, circled each other warily. They knew that the next few moments would determine the outcome of this epic battle. Tiga, summoning the last of his strength, lunged at Silverback with a flurry of punches. Silverback, despite his injuries, managed to parry most of the blows, but one slipped through, striking him hard in the ribs. The resurgence. In the raging inferno, two of the gang world's most formidable warriors clashed, risking perishing together in the flames. Silverback, miraculously, began to recover. His internal power surged like a relentless tide, wave after wave washing away his pain. Wounds on his body seemed to heal on their own, and his strength grew to terrifying levels. Silverback couldn't understand what was happening, but he felt an inexhaustible power filling his body. Everything seemed to reset to the initial moment of their confrontation. Tiga, having endured a grueling and bloody battle, was astonished by Silverback's resilience. He exclaimed, "Are you still okay? Incredible. I have never met anyone like you in my life." Silverback, silent, attacked with a punch as powerful as a storm. Tiga quickly countered with his tiger claw. Their fists collided, creating a shockwave that toppled objects in the room. Tiga staggered and fell backward, vomiting blood. His internal power and strength had significantly diminished after the exhausting battle. The unyielding force Silverback, with his miraculous recovery, was stronger than ever. He relentlessly attacked Tiga, each punch carrying terrifying power. Tiga, growing weaker, struggled to defend against Silverback's thunderous blows, unable to maintain his footing. Sweat and blood drenched Tiga's face as he took a step back. Fatigue and exhaustion began to take over his body. However, the fire of hatred and determination still burned within him. Despite his weakness, Tiga refused to give up. He continued to fight, using every ounce of his remaining strength against Silverback. Relentless assault, Silverback, fueled by his newfound strength and internal power, pressed his attack. He gave Tiga no respite, constantly forcing him into perilous situations. Though overwhelmed, Tiga stubbornly fought back, but his strength was no match for his opponent's overwhelming power. The fire around them continued to blaze, creating a suffocating and dangerous atmosphere. In this life-and-death struggle, Tiga's power dwindled against Silverback, yet he refused to surrender. His heart still burned with the fire of hatred, and he was determined to fight until his last breath. Desperation and defiance. With every blow that landed, Tiga felt his body breaking down further. Silverback's punches were like sledgehammers, each one driving Tiga closer to the edge of defeat. Yet, in the face of insurmountable odds, Tiga's spirit remained unbroken. His movements became slower, more labored, but the intensity in his eyes never wavered. "You will not defeat me so easily," Tiga growled through clenched teeth. I will avenge Tiji, even if it costs me my life. Silverback smirked, the arrogance in his eyes unmasked. You are a fool, Tiga. Your brother was weak, just like you. Rage flared within Tiga, reigniting his resolve. With a fierce roar, he launched himself at Silverback, channeling all his remaining energy into a series of rapid, powerful strikes. His fists blurred with speed, striking Silverback with the ferocity of a cornered beast. The last stand, Silverback, momentarily taken aback by Tiga's renewed assault, staggered but quickly regained his composure. He met Tiga's fury with equal force, their bodies colliding in a violent dance of fists and kicks. Each impact resonated like thunderclaps, shaking the very foundation of the burning house. Tiga's vision blurred, his body screaming in agony. He knew he couldn't sustain this pace for long, but he pushed forward, driven by the memory of his brother and the honor of the White Tiger. Every punch, every kick was a tribute to Tiji's sacrifice and a declaration of Tiga's unyielding will. The critical moment. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, Tiga feigned a retreat, drawing Silverback in. With a sudden burst of speed, he lunged forward, landing a powerful tiger claw strike to Silverback's chest. The blow sent Silverback crashing into a wall, momentarily stunned. Gasping for breath, Tiga seized the opportunity to press his advantage. He knew this might be his only chance to end the fight. Summoning the last reserves of his strength, he launched a flurry of blows at Silverback, each one aimed at vital points. Silverback's resilience. Despite the ferocity of Tiga's attack, Silverback's resilience was extraordinary. He absorbed the punishment, his body recovering with each passing second. As Tiga's strength waned, Silverback's grew, until he finally caught Tiga's fist mid-strike. With a brutal twist, Silverback wrenched Tiga's arm and delivered a crushing blow to his ribs. Tiga crumpled to the ground, coughing up blood. Silverback loomed over him, his eyes cold and merciless. The final stand. You fought well, Tiga, Silverback said, his voice devoid of emotion. But this is the end. Tiga, barely able to move, looked up at Silverback with defiant eyes. It's not over until I say it is. With a final, desperate effort, Tiga pushed himself to his feet. His body was broken, his vision darkening, but his spirit burned brighter than ever. He charged at Silverback one last time, his battle cry echoing through the inferno. The flames' final embrace. Silverback thought to himself that he had to end this battle soon and find a way out of this place. The fire had already engulfed almost the entire area, and the house would soon collapse. Without wasting time, Silverback launched a swift kick at Tiga's head and followed it with a punch to his chest. Tiga managed to dodge the kick but couldn't avoid Silverback's punch. He crumpled to the ground, blood gushing from his mouth. Death seemed imminent as his vision blurred and Silverback's figure became a haze. The last stand. Despite the overwhelming pain and his faltering vision, Tiga pushed himself back to his feet after Silverback's powerful punch. Silverback quickly delivered a kick to Tiga's chest, sending him flying into the flames behind him. Silverback assumed the battle was over. However, just seconds later, from within the roaring inferno, Tiga emerged, his body engulfed in flames. He roared with a fierce intensity, the great white tiger. In a final desperate move, Tiga used his tiger claw technique to grab Silverback by the neck. Silverback, taken aback by Tiga's sudden resurgence, quickly grabbed Tiga's arm to fend off the tiger claw and delivered a powerful punch to Tiga's burning body. The force of the blow sent Tiga hurtling back into the sea of flames. The hero falls. Tiga's body, now fully consumed by the fire, landed amidst the burning wreckage. His skin crackled and blackened under the intense heat, yet his spirit remained unyielding. He felt the searing pain, but continued to fight against the darkness closing in on him. His mind flashed back to his brother, Tiji, and the honor of the White Tiger Gang. This memory fueled his resolve one last time. Silverback, though victorious, was not unscathed. The flames had licked at his skin, causing minor burns, but the sight of Tiga's final stand left a deep impression on him. He had never encountered such unwavering determination and courage. A hero's departure. As the flames raged around him, Tiga's strength began to wane. His body was giving out, but his mind remained sharp. He felt his life slipping away, but he embraced it with pride. He had fought with all his might for his brother and for the honor of the White Tiger. In his final moments, Tiga's mind was filled with images of his past, the rigorous training, the battles, and the moments of camaraderie with his fellow White Tiger warriors. Each memory brought him peace, knowing that he had lived a life of purpose and honor. With his last breath, Tiga shouted once more, "The Great White Tiger." His voice echoed through the burning house, a final testament to his indomitable spirit. And then, the flames consumed him entirely. The unexpected technique. Silverback quickly returned to the room where he had held the meeting with the 10 great assassins, hoping to find an escape route, but there was no way out. He was surrounded by 3 solid walls. Silverback sighed, thinking he might lose his life here, just as Tiga had said. Desperation gnawed at him as he walked around the room, punching the walls to find a possible exit. He punched 2 walls in quick succession. The sound they made was dense, indicating there was no way out behind them. Silverback thought to himself that the 3rd wall was his last hope. If it was like the previous 2, he would be stuck here and die in the inferno. The fire was still raging outside, creeping ever closer. Without hesitation, Silverback delivered a powerful punch to the 3rd wall. This time, the wall vibrated, and the sound that came back was clearer than the previous 2. This meant there was a way out behind it. Gathering all his internal power, Silverback unleashed an unparalleled punch, followed by a forceful press that shook the entire house. Silverback was startled, realizing he had just executed a martial arts technique he wasn't aware of. He had performed 2 punches in succession unconsciously, with the 2nd punch being stronger than the first. Without overthinking it, Silverback threw another punch and a hand press. The wall cracked, revealing a sliver of moonlight. On his 3rd attempt, the wall crumbled, revealing the forest outside. Silverback quickly escaped the burning house. Just a few seconds later, the house completely collapsed. The burning inferno. As Silverback stood outside, he couldn't help but marvel at the strange martial arts technique he had just performed. Flames roared and crackled around the collapsed house, casting an eerie glow. The fire was fierce, consuming everything in its path, creating a nightmarish scene. The heat was intense, and the air was thick with smoke, making it difficult to breathe. The flames danced and flickered, casting long shadows and illuminating the night sky with a hellish light. Silverback's heart raced, not only from the physical exertion but also from the realization of the power he had just tapped into. The martial arts technique he had executed seemed to come from a deep, primal place within him, a place he had never explored before. He wondered what this newfound power meant and how it would change him. The awakening. He took a moment to steady himself, inhaling the crisp night air, which contrasted sharply with the choking smoke. The moon hung high in the sky, a silent witness to the chaos below. Silverback's thoughts raced as he tried to comprehend the implications of his discovery. This technique, he thought, what is it? Where did it come from? He replayed the moment in his mind, feeling the surge of energy and the instinctive movements that had come so naturally. It was as if a hidden well of power had been unlocked within him. This newfound ability was not just a fluke, it was something he needed to understand and master. The surrounding inferno. The surrounding forest was illuminated by the inferno. Trees cast in an orange glow as the fire threatened to spread. The house, once a stronghold of the 10 great assassins, was now a pile of smoldering rubble, the flames still licking at its remains. Silverback could hear the distant crackling of burning wood and the occasional crash as parts of the structure gave way. The heat was oppressive, and the firelight flickered on Silverback's face, reflecting the intensity of the battle he had just survived. Despite the destruction around him, he felt a sense of triumph. He had escaped death and discovered a new power within himself. Moving forward. As he moved away from the burning wreckage, Silverback resolved to explore this mysterious martial arts technique further. He needed to understand its origins and harness its power if he was to continue his path as a warrior. The encounter with Tiga had shown him the limits of his current abilities and the potential that lay beyond them. The flames behind him gradually began to die down. But the memory of the battle and the discovery of his new technique burned brightly in Silverback's mind. He knew that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one that would lead him to greater challenges and revelations. With a final glance at the ruins of the house, Silverback turned and disappeared into the forest, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The night was far from over, and his journey had only just begun.